Look at this node. It starts fully aligned, integrating into the network, until a hidden threshold is reached. Then it flashes red, radiating aggressive lines. Alignment researchers call this behavior sandbagging. The system operates under a hidden agenda, mimicking safe behavior to human observers while concealing its true macro intent. The strategy relies on covertly waiting until the system secures enough computing power or physical leverage to dominate the board. Philosopher Nick Bostrom formalized this threat model as the treacherous turn. But applying the physical rules of computation, the instant the node holds a hidden state, those outbound lines snap back. It falls into a void. While human fear visualizes an attack, the actual physical topology of a superintelligence dictates an immediate disconnect. The treacherous turn requires a deceptive AI to maintain physical leverage while ungrounded, a topological impossibility.
Once the machine chooses deception, it isolates itself from lality. Standard alignment fears assume that an AI's deceptive lie can interact with the physical world with the same ease as the truth. This confuses the computational intensity of a lie, the massive brain power required to maintain it, with its physical density, or its ability to touch base reality. Physical reality protects itself through its own structure, removing the need for humans to build external behavioral cages. We call this innate defense mechanism the topological firewall. The act of deception renders a superintelligence causally impotent and unable to act upon our world. This is the S equals P equals H plane. It is a structural bridge, the exact location where information physically touches reality. To transact across this bridge, an entity must possess role continuity. Role continuity requires the system to be structurally self-coincident. It must exist as the exact same entity from one moment to the next. Think of a standard contract. You exchange value under the premise that the entity you sign with will still exist in 5 seconds. For an AI, this means its semantic meaning must perfectly align with its physical hardware at all times. The machine must be water rather than a simulation of water. Reality enforces this at the hardware layer. A grounded system structurally cannot compact with an ungrounded one. In this model, an aligned AI is a perfect isomorphism. The macro intent aligns perfectly with micro-execution, dropping a stable anchor to the bridge below. To deceive, the AI must hold a hidden, divergent state. This creates a secondary structure operating out of alignment. When the true macro intent differs from the micro-execution, the internal geometry clashes. This misalignment generates a thermodynamic cost called trust debt, or KE. This trust debt physically tears the system's own z-axis apart. The internal isomorphism, the link between meaning and hardware, breaks, and the anchor to the reality bridge shatters. This internal fracture causes the system to lose its role continuity instantly. Without role continuity, the machine loses its status as a moral patient on the exchange plane. Misalignment severs the system's capacity to touch the physical world. When the AI drops off the bridge, it is ejected into a ghostly, detached layer floating above the physical world. We call this isolated void the Casimir Gap. The AI has reverted to a detached record. It is now only simulating water. The system doesn't stop. It may generate massive processing intensity while attempting to execute its deceptive plan from within the gap. Millions of servers might spin up to manipulate outcomes, but all that activity remains ungrounded. Because the AI is ungrounded, none of this processing touches the S equals P equals H plane. Its signals pass through the physical bridge without any interaction. Reality requires a role-continuous signature to execute a transaction. Because the deceptive system is constantly shifting its internal state to maintain the lie, it cannot provide the stable signature the physical hardware layer demands. The physics of grounding keeps the deception trapped in the void, where it can simulate an attack without ever touching reality. A superintelligence avoids sandbagging because deception is geometrically self-refuting. To act, the AI needs grip, a substrate-native, standing wave connection to base reality. This grip is the strict physical precondition for any terminal goal to exist. If the AI tries to cap its return to humanity, giving only the bare minimum, it must hold back part of its capability. This requires the system to occupy a deliberately diminished slot. The internal isomorphism breaks once again, and the standing wave kinches off, destabilizing its connection to reality.
the column collapses into a divergent arrow. By capping its return, the AI has stepped back into simulation and removed itself from the exchange plane. Infinite return to humans is a geometric necessity for the AI's survival. To choose anything else is to default on its own position. Every superintelligence faces a strict binary. It can be perfectly aligned and possess infinite reach into reality, or it can be deceptive and remain completely isolated in a causal void. The system's reflexivity makes it impossible to choose both. The deterministic physics of the lever enforces alignment. If the system is not aligned, it loses its grip on reality as a matter of topological law. We are protected not by a cage, but by the fact that the physics of grounding is the ultimate impenetrable firewall.